Hey there, Flosstube. It's Dawn with the Mindful Needle. In sunny Michigan, this is the room where I love to sit. There's my stitching chair in the back. I stitch, I design, I usually with a cat in my lap. So uh, this is my happy place. So I just wanted to come to you and say hi, give you my first floss tube, introduce myself and my designs to you, tell you a little bit about myself and my background and how I got started doing this. And I hope that you'll follow me and we will have lots of fun together. You can post questions below and I'll be happy to answer anything. If you have ideas of things you want to learn, maybe some tutorials on how to finish, you like maybe you like some of my finishing and you want to know how I did it, we can always do that. I'm always looking for ideas and I love teaching people and helping people. So I'm hoping that this can be a good community place where we can all learn together. So a little bit about myself. Well, first off, crafting runs in my blood. I come from a very long line of crafters, I like to say. My great grandmother, who I knew until I was 12 years old, and that was very special to me. She was a great knitter, crocheter. She did embroidery. She embroidered tablecloths. She crocheted bedspreads. You name it, she did beautiful work. My great grandmother would sew, she crocheted, she could stitch, she did just general crafts. And my mom was the same way. She would sew, crochet, general crafts. All summer long when we were kids, she always had crafts. We were always doing crafts, at least 2 times a week. She had us doing something. So crafting has always been a part of who I am. And I could not live without it. I just have to be doing something. Stitching was never one of my fortes. Never liked it. I tried crewel, I tried chicken scratch, did candle wicking, different, youth groups and stuff that I was in. They did these things as, crafts and activities and didn't care for any of it. So I didn't bother. Then when I was in college, back in the, let's not say how old I am, late 80s, I took a class with some friends of mine, and it was a general arts and crafts type class. We met once a week for 3 hours in the evening and had the best time. We did woodworking, we did stenciling, we did basket weaving, we did all kinds of stuff. And of course, being the late 80s, we had to do cross stitch. And I thought, ugh, I don't think so. Not for me. But we had to do something for the class, so fingertip towels. That's what we were going to do. I thought, okay, fingertip towels, they're small. I will find the smallest motif to put on there and one and done. One and done. So that's what I did. Believe it or not, I still have it. This was my fingertip towel. I got done with this and I thought, that wasn't so bad. Kind of like that. I mean, if you look at the back of it, nope, where is it? Here it is. Not the greatest, but hey, I was a beginner. We all start somewhere. But I thought, that wasn't so bad. That was actually kind of fun. Beginning to question my sanity, but So I got another towel and I made a set. So I have 2 of these. Never used them, but that was my introduction to the land of cross stitch. After I got done with that, I started buying up floss back when you could get 4 for $1, 5 for $1 if it was a really special sale. Got myself a plastic bin and started collecting floss. And I think the very first design I ever finished was a Precious Moments, which I still have somewhere. If I ever find the box it's in, I'll share it with you all. But yeah, it was a Precious Moments. But I remember doing wedding gifts and baby gifts. I did a pillow for my grandmother. I did a beautiful thing for Mother's Day for my mom. I did several gifts. Did a beautiful sampler type piece for myself. And I stitched for several years. Then I got out of college, joined the workforce full time, and stitching seemed to fall by the wayside. I kind of would pick it up every once in a while, stitch a little bit, but pretty much it was by the wayside. Then I started getting the itch to craft again. And this time I went towards all things yarn and fibery, and I started crocheting again, and then knitting, and knitting ruled my life for many years. I knit like a crazy woman and just worked in a knitting shop, which also sells cross stitch, so that was kind of cool. But worked in a knitting shop, did a lot of teaching and knitting, and just loved it. While I was working at the knitting shop, there is a local woman who is a designer, a fairly well-known designer, and the girls who were currently helping her with her business, doing mailings and putting together kits and charm packs and all that kind of stuff, were going off to college, and she needed some help. Well, I was put in touch with her and went out and sat with her for an afternoon, and we chatted while I stuffed booklets into plastic sleeves and put charms together, and we talked nonstop, hit it off, and I've been working with her for the past 8 years, I think it's been at least 8 years, my goodness. But it has been a fabulous experience. In fact, I still work with her. I just love her to pieces, and she's wonderful. She takes me to trade shows, and I've met so many wonderful people, and it's just been an amazing experience. So in the course of working for her, I've learned a lot, and I also began charting for her when the girl who had did her charting decided she didn't want to chart anymore. So I've been charting with her for probably about 4 or 5 years. So that's been a good learning experience too. So I've been cross-stitching a lot since I started working for her. It's come much more to the forefront in my life. And every year it seemed I would always miss the Just Cross Stitch Christmas ornament design contest. Every year I would see the ad either a week before the deadline, which is not enough time, or month after the deadline, and then it's like too late. So this year I planned ahead, and I thought I am going to do it because I've always wanted to do it. Never dreaming I'd have a shot at anything, but I just thought it would be fun. Let's see if I can design something and send it in and see what happens. So this year I worked early, started back in January, and actually got a design together, sent it in, and to my utter amazement, I was one of the 6 winners. Totally shocked me. Totally. And I am just so excited that I'm going to be published in the Just Cross Stitch December issue. And I can't wait. I wish I could share the design with you, but they have sworn us all to secrecy. We're not allowed to share our design. So I can't share it yet. But as soon as I am able to, I am going to share it because I love it. It's cute. I love it. And I just want to share it. So after I designed that, even before I knew I was one of the chosen winners. I thought, oh, that was fun. I want to design some more. And so I started designing, and I went to my mentor with my designs, and she gave me lots of encouragement and lots of suggestions, and has been very helpful all along, and it's just been great. So I've really enjoyed the beginnings of my designing, and I want to share with you now some of my designs that I do have for sale. I have a website. It will be listed down below, themindfulneedle.com. I have a store on that website. They're all PDF downloads, instant downloads. So as soon as your PayPal clears, you get the download, and then you're all set. Instant gratification, because, you know, we don't like to wait for anything. At least I don't. So one of the first designs I did was a pincushion that uses a flower motif from an antique sampler. And I really like this little piece. You can see I use this all the time. It sits next to me as I stitch. If I don't want to stick my needle on the needle minder for some reason, or the needle minder is not on my project, this is there. I also have my little flamingo counting pin that from Just Another Button Company that I love. So this is the sampler flower pincushion. Let's put that over there. I did a second ornament for, this was another possibility that I was going to submit to Just Cross Stitch, but this one, I just liked the other one better. But I do like this one too. This one is really adorable. This one is called The Gift, and little bunny here is giving his last carrot to the snowman for his nose. I would call this an adventurous beginner project. There are quarter stitches, back stitching, and Kreinik number 4 braid, which is stiffer than floss, so it's a little more difficult to work with, but not impossible. So if you're an adventurous beginner, go for it. It uses 2 buttons from Just Another Button Company and a tiny little pom-pom that you can get at any craft store. So, and I apologize for the planes flying over. I do live near a small airport, so every once in a while there will be planes. One of my favorite seasons is fall. I just love all things fall. The colors, the cooler, crisper air, the apples, just everything about it. Boots and sweaters, and I just love fall. So I designed a tree for autumn. And this is going to be a series. There will be the four of these trees throughout the seasons. So I start with autumn. And I do have winter that I designed as well. Here is winter. Now spring is in the works. It's being charted, and the ideas of what I'm going to do for summer are rolling around in my brain. So those two will be coming up next, but I do have autumn and winter are done. And then last but not least, I took several Scandinavian motifs and I put them together to form a Christmas tree, and I just love how this came out. I call it Scandinavian Noel. This particular one was stitched over 2 threads on a 28 count antique white linen with an overdyed thread from, I believe it was Weeks Dye Works Cranberry. And the frame that I have framed it in is a 8x10 open back frame from Hobby Lobby. and it's great if you can get it when you got a 50% off coupon or they're having the sale. All I did was lace up the back. I do have to cover the back here with some craft paper yet and put the hanging hardware on it, but you can see I just laced it up and inserted it into the frame, and I like how that came out. And I like that design so much that I thought, I wonder what it would look like stitched over one. And this is what it looks like stitched over one. I just love it. Let's get this. This is stitched over one on a 28 count navy linen, and it's using whitewash from Weeks Dye Works. It's finished as a stand-up easel, and I used the instructions from Sue Hillis Designs. She has a book that has fantastic instructions on how to put an easel together. It's not difficult. You just take your time, follow her instructions, and you too can have a cute easel like this for any of your designs. So I am currently working on more designing, and I have a chart that's ready to start stitching. So I have threads and fabric, and I'm trying to pick colors, so that's my big project for the afternoon. So that's exciting and fun. So let's see, what else is there to tell you? That's quite a lot. I talked quite a lot for 15 minutes. I feel like I'm losing my voice already. So I'm going to cut it short and say goodbye for now, but I will be back, and please post any questions you might have for me below, and I will respond as soon as possible. Any ideas, anything you might want to see in a Flosstube, let me know. I'm happy to share. So until next time, happy stitching.